fuck every day, they not banning me from shopping. I see me going a long way and can't nobody stop it. They mad at my hot boys crew from boy to men, they got 4 pockets.
Exit out the vehicle for me.
Exit out the vehicle, put the hands in the air.
Chef, I love you, bro. I get my girlfriend a kiss out, please.
You'll get in a second. Come on.
This is Contavious Wright, a 24-year-old aspiring rapper who went by the stage name Dirty Tay, who would be arrested on August 19, 2022, after being accused of a crime so heinous, so unthinkable, that it would shock the entire hip-hop community to its very core. But before we dive into the catastrophic events that would derail his promising career and land him behind bars for nearly 2 decades, let me take you back to where it all began. To the streets of Atlanta's Zone 4, where a young man with raw talent and big dreams would rise meteorically through the ranks of the trap music scene. And as we journey through this story, we'll uncover the warning signs, the red flags, and the troubling pattern of choices that led to one of the most heartbreaking cases in recent Atlanta hip-hop history. Now, to truly understand the magnitude of this fall from grace, we need to understand just how rapidly Contavious Wright's star was rising in the competitive world of Atlanta trap music. This wasn't just any aspiring rapper grinding away in obscurity hoping for his big break. No, this was a young artist who had caught lightning in a bottle, who had somehow managed to capture the attention of one of the biggest names in hip-hop today. Contavious Wright began his journey into rap only months before he started gaining significant traction in the industry, a remarkably short time frame that speaks volumes about his natural talent and the hunger he brought to the craft. According to biographical information compiled about his early career, Wright was encouraged by peers who recognized something special in his delivery. But what truly catapulted Dirty Tay from just another Atlanta rapper to a name worth watching was his signing to 4PF, the record label founded by none other than Grammy-winning superstar Lil Baby. This was validation from one of the most respected voices in modern hip-hop, a cosign that opened doors and created opportunities that most artists spend years, sometimes entire careers, chasing after without ever catching.
Working with that guy, Lil Baby, man. I mean, what has it been like teaming up with him? And how did y'all boy link up?
Baby, and my boy, like, same hood, and my boy.
In an interview with Atlanta Radio, Wright spoke about his relationship with Lil Baby, explaining how the connection formed through their shared neighborhood ties.
Like, Baby, he help a nigga, like, he with me behind me for sure.
Wright's admiration for his mentor was evident as he continued.
He not taught me a lot. He not taught me a lot.
Yeah.
With rap and with the street.
Facts.
Like, Baby a real one. He not taught me a lot with rap in the street. He a real one for sure.
In 2020 alone, Dirty Tay released 2 full albums, Way Bigger on the Low and 2 Turned Up, projects that showcased his ability to craft street anthems with mass appeal. Tracks like Beast and Don't Wanna Do It weren't just local favorites. Each song surpassed 1 million streams on Spotify, a milestone that many independent artists never reach in their entire careers.
And now, I mean, this Way Big on the Low project, man. Break it down to me. Is this the first mixtape?
I did the first tape.
When asked about the meaning behind his project title, Wright explained his mindset.
I'm bigger than what I am on the low, where like since I dropped it, ain't on the low no more.
By mid-2022, Dirty Tay had accumulated over 74,000 monthly listeners on Spotify, numbers that indicated genuine momentum in an oversaturated market where thousands of artists compete for attention daily. This wasn't manufactured hype or industry manipulation. This was organic growth built on music that connected with audiences who saw themselves reflected in Wright's street narratives and hustler mentality.
Or how often do you record now?
Most every day.
Oh yeah?
I record most every day. Every time I go to the studio, I make a song. I go to the studio most every day.
His work ethic was relentless. When asked about his goals, Wright's ambition was clear.
Keep dropping more music, keep going up.
Yeah.
Start on like more shows and start on more of everything.
Wright's rise was part of Atlanta's dynamic do-it-yourself hip-hop culture, where social media platforms and local networks can transform unknown artists into regional stars seemingly overnight. He had captured the essence of what made Atlanta trap music so compelling: authenticity mixed with ambition, street credibility combined with artistic vision. Everything was aligning perfectly for Contavious Wright. He had the talent, the work ethic, the mentor, the label backing, the streaming numbers, and the growing fan base. The trajectory seemed clear. However, the same streets that gave Wright his authenticity, his stories, and his cred would also become the source of his downfall. And on one fateful afternoon in August 2022, everything that Contavious Wright had worked for, everything he had built, would come crashing down in the most tragically and irreversibly way. On the afternoon of August 3rd, 2022, in southwest Atlanta, near the Off the Hook barbershop on Peters Street, a father had just finished getting his 3-year-old son's haircut at the neighborhood barbershop, a routine errand that families across America perform weekly without incident, a simple moment of normalcy in their daily lives. The father, accompanied by his young son, left the barbershop and got into their vehicle, completely unaware that they were being watched, completely oblivious to the danger that was about to unfold. According to police reports and witness statements, a Kia vehicle began following the father's car as they left the barbershop. This wasn't random chance or coincidental travel on the same route. This was deliberate, targeted, intentional pursuit. The Kia followed them through the streets of southwest Atlanta, tracking their movements, waiting for the right moment. Then, in a calculated maneuver, the Kia performed a U-turn, pulled up alongside the father's vehicle at an intersection, and gunfire erupted. The father would later tell investigators that approximately 5 shots were fired at his vehicle. In those terrifying seconds, with bullets piercing the air and glass potentially shattering around them, the father's worst nightmare became reality. One of those bullets found its way into the vehicle and struck his 3-year-old son in the head. Rather than waiting for emergency services to arrive at the scene, the father made the split-second decision to drive directly to a nearby fire station, hoping that the firefighters and paramedics stationed there could provide immediate assistance to his critically injured son. The little boy, identified in some reports as Javon, was rushed to the hospital where surgeons worked urgently to save his life. The bullet that had struck this innocent 3-year-old child in the head had to be surgically removed, and miraculously, against all odds, the child who had been struck in the head during this violent incident pulled through. Doctors were able to remove the bullet, and the boy was reported to be in stable condition shortly after the surgery. His grandfather, Regis Yates, spoke to Fox 5 Atlanta in the aftermath of this traumatic event, and his words captured both the gratitude for his grandson's survival and the awareness of just how close they came to unspeakable tragedy. Yates told reporters that the boy was real lucky to have survived such a horrific incident. Meanwhile, investigators from the Atlanta Police Department were working around the clock to piece together exactly what had happened and who was responsible for this unconscionable act. Officers recovered 3 9mm shell casings from the scene, physical evidence that would become crucial in their investigation. They interviewed witnesses, reviewed any available surveillance footage from nearby businesses, and began building a case. Police investigators determined that the father appeared to be the intended target of this incident, not the child. The 3-year-old boy had simply been in the wrong place at the wrong time, an innocent victim of violence directed at his father. Authorities believed the incident was gang-related, part of ongoing conflicts and feuds that plague urban communities across America. Cycles of retaliation and violence that too often claim innocent lives or leave devastating collateral damage in their wake. And then, 16 days after that fateful afternoon outside the barbershop, on August 19, 2022, police conducted a traffic stop that would break the case wide open.
Exit out the vehicle for me. Just put the phone down for us, please, so you don't get yourself hurt. Come back towards us. Any weapons on you? Get your hands away from your purse for me. Put them on top of your head.
Contavious Wright, the rising rapper known as Dirty Tay, was pulled over along with his girlfriend. During the stop, officers conducted a search of the vehicle and made a critical discovery. A firearm was found on his girlfriend, and authorities believe the weapon belonged to Wright.
Yeah, he's got his phone and a big stack of cash in his pocket.
So there are no weapons on
Phone
you,
in his
man.
back pocket.
Can you get that to my girlfriend, please?
Body cam footage from the arrest captured the moments as Wright was taken into custody. In these final moments of freedom, Wright's concerns were focused on his girlfriend and their separation.
Shy, I love you, bro.
I'll walk you.
Shy,
Come on.
Hey, follow this officer right here.
Shy,
Come on, come on.
I love you for real, bro.
He made one last plea to the officers.
Can I get my girlfriend a kiss shot, please?
You'll get in a second. Come on, buddy. You'll get in a second.
Please.
You'll get in a second, my brother. You'll get in a second.
Wright was booked into Fulton County Jail and faced a staggering dozen charges, each one representing the serious nature of what authorities believed he had done. The charges included attempted murder for allegedly targeting the father, aggraved assault for the violence committed, and first-degree cruelty to children because of the devastating injury inflicted upon the 3-year-old child. But the charges didn't stop there. Wright also faced 3 counts under Georgia's Street Gang Terrorism and Prevention Act, which alleged that these acts were committed to obtain, earn membership, maintain, or increase status within a criminal street gang. These gang enhancement charges suggested that prosecutors viewed this not as an isolated incident, but as part of broader organized criminal activity plaguing Atlanta's streets. As news of Contavious Wright's arrest spread throughout Atlanta and beyond, the hip-hop community found itself grappling with yet another tragedy that highlighted the dangerous intersection between street life and artistic ambition. On August 24th and 25th, 2022, just days after his arrest, Wright took to Instagram stories to proclaim his innocence, posting a statement that would be widely circulated and debated across social media platforms. "I'm innocent. The news is not always right. Don't bash me because of allegations," Wright wrote in his Instagram post, pushing back against the narrative that was forming around him in media coverage and public discourse. This public declaration of innocence immediately divided public opinion into camps. On one side were those who believed Wright deserved the presumption of innocence until proven guilty, who pointed out that allegations and charges are not the same as convictions, who urged people not to rush to judgment based solely on police reports and media coverage. Some of his supporters in the hip-hop community rallied behind him and posted messages of support and questioned the evidence against him.
And as you can, it's still a very active scene. So we still have to piece together. We need to go back to the barbershop to figure out exactly if there's anything that happened inside the barbershop. So again, very fluid. We have the dad. We're asking questions regarding what happened, but it appears to be a targeted incident. Does not appear to be random at all. But again, it's still very early on in our investigation. We're still trying to ascertain a lot of information at this time.
The case wound its way through the legal system for nearly 2 years, with Wright's attorneys presumably working to build a defense while prosecutors compiled evidence to support their charges. During this time, Wright remained behind bars, unable to post the substantial bond that would have been required for his release given the serious nature of the charges against him. Then, in May of 2024, nearly 22 months after his arrest, Contavious Wright accepted a plea deal that would determine the course of the rest of his life. The agreement called for a total sentence of 25 years, with 17 years to be served in prison and 8 additional years on probation following his release. Legal documents obtained by Hip Hop DX confirmed the sentencing, though the full details of the plea negotiations and what specifically Wright admitted to as part of the agreement were not made publicly available. The acceptance of a plea deal inherently involves admitting guilt to at least some of the charges, which stood in stark contrast to Wright's earlier proclamations of complete innocence on social media. When news of the 17-year prison sentence broke, the public reaction was swift and overwhelmingly negative. Many people felt that 17 years was far too lenient given the nature of the crime, given that a 3-year-old child had been shot in the head, given the premeditated nature of following the victim's vehicle and opening fire. Social media erupted with anger and disbelief at what many perceived as an unjust sentence. One commenter, commenting on Hip Hop DX's coverage of the sentencing, wrote that 17 years is soft. The toddler didn't even get a chance to live a life, expressing the sentiment that the punishment didn't match the severity of the crime or adequately reflect the trauma inflicted on an innocent child. The moral outrage was palpable in many responses. One commenter with the username John316 wrote that, "You don't come back from executing a child. Gotta answer to God," invoking religious judgment and suggesting that whatever earthly punishment Wright received, there would be a higher accounting for his actions. But Wright still had some defenders, though they were far outnumbered by critics. Rapper Big Blurred posted "Free Dirty Tay, he innocent FR," maintaining belief in Wright's innocence despite the plea deal. Another supporter, using the handle AKA Big Red, wrote that "Real Mag Dirty Tay got the worst fucking plea deal. Y'all gotta free him," characterizing the 17-year sentence not as too lenient, but as excessively harsh. The case also sparked broader discussions about 4PF label and whether there was a pattern of violence among artists signed to Lil Baby's imprint. In May 2024, around the same time as Wright's sentencing, another 4PF artist named Day Day was charged with beating a 6-year-old child to death, which led to social media posts noting the disturbing coincidence. Some reports suggested that Lil Baby dissolved 4PF in 2024 amid increased scrutiny from law enforcement regarding gang affiliations, though the exact reasons and timing remain somewhat unclear. Social media discussions linked the label's apparent dissolution to the legal troubles of Wright and other artists. The parallels to other Atlanta rap cases were unavoidable, with many pointing to the ongoing RICO case involving Young Thug and YSL Records as evidence of a broader problem in Atlanta's hip-hop scene, where the line between artistic expression and actual criminal activity had become dangerously blurred. What remains clear as Kentavious Wright serves his 17-year sentence is that his promising music career is over, and that a 3-year-old boy will carry the trauma of being shot for the rest of his life.
I'ma run through the money, make sure it's all lit. I been praying for my partner, he got jammed on the lit. My bitch gon' let me chill as long as I pay her rent. Every car I get, 5% in the sticks. I start off right on the door, I jump the fence. I push the button for trap mode, try nasty it get. My brother in the feds gave me a Glock 26. I don't care, I'm convicted, fit, I'm still around with that blitz. I got a whole one in line, I been lying to that bitch. Shot been had switched up, he ain't come around when I'm rich. Hell nah, but I'm still ain't going nowhere with that blitz. I know the Rick's run the game, they put the stars on the bench. I bought my first car the years with the medication lens. With the dark shade on like some motherfucking tint. I got way too many.
Let me know what your thoughts are on the sentencing. Click on one of the cards on your screen to see more videos like this.